All right, everybody. The last big Star Trek day of the year is, well, you'll find out in a moment, but it's within the next 100 days, that's for sure. Right? I think my math is pretty accurate right there.
I think so
About
too.
100 days left in this year. Also, there's a lot more to talk about, like the Star Trek docuseries that can be found very easily. What Star Trek docuseries? How many are there? It's the one, Center Seat, which is amazing. Also, top 10 things of what to love about Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Are we talking about people, characters, lighting, episodes? Who knows? There's a lot going on. We have Starfleet Academy news. We have I don't know, maybe Cher's in the news somewhere. What's she up to? She just turned like 70 recently. Let's see what she's up to lately, right? Turn back time
Yeah.
on her. Anyway,
Oh,
lots to talk about with Melissa Longo.
Hi there. If I could turn back time. I love Cher, by the way. So if we do a Cher segue, I'm okay
All
with
right.
this.
And she loves you. Fuck a find a way. Right, that's how she sings. Also, Jenny R. Johnson is here, everybody.
hello, I'm Kenny
Woo!
Johnson. It's good to see you all.
No, of course, everybody knows that's Dr. Mohammed Noor. We missed you,
Hello.
Mohammed.
Miss you guys too. Good to see all of you.
The
Yay.
Matt Boardman's in the house, his own
Hey, what's up?
house.
What's up? What's up? I'm
And
Jenny R. Johnson.
and of course, you can't have Johnson without John Orchiola. That's back of the head.
Hey,
Screen
everybody.
Rant's
It's awesome to
own.
have this old school feel of having Jenny R. Johnson back on the show. It's good.
Hey, we're turning back time today, everybody. But in
When I
all
was a kid, I used to watch
seriousness,
the Sonny and Cher show all the time. It was great.
I got you, babe.
Yeah.
It's interesting how much her voice changed. Go back and listen to that I Got You Babe duet with Sonny Bono, and her voice is small and thin, and then she learned to just kind of open and
Oh,
widen it out and make it
yeah.
way
She
better and
still
thicker.
sounds great too.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chuck A says Sunny and share Share. Yes, thank you very much. Share this video with all of your pals, everybody. Good memory, Chuck A.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, Mohammed just wanted to pop in to say hello to everybody, but he does have to run and get back to work.
You.
Mohammed, thank you so much for spreading the cheer. We love having you. We really miss
Always,
you so much.
always
Yay.
wonderful to see you guys on the main viewer. Take care, you
Yeah.
guys.
See you soon. Thanks, Mohammed.
Bye-bye.
All right. That's
On
Aw.
all
number
our show
4.
for today. Oh. So everybody, please make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for notifications. If you're listening in, give us a 5-star rating and a nice review. We'd really appreciate that. But how cool is it, though, seriously, that we have back of the head Screen Rant's own John Orchiola here, all the way from the Philippines.
Hey, everybody.
Yay.
Right when you said that spiel about smashing the like button and everything, I kind of wish like Star Trek Con had Naveen Andrews playing Khan actually say that to the audience, like, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to our podcast because it's like it's the least Khan thing you could ever hear him say. Just to have Khan.
Tickle that like button. All right. Hello to Mark Zutkoff, John Davis, Chuck A. So many random fandoms. Katie's here. She says
Hey,
she's popping
Katie.
in to
What?
say hi, all now off to bed. Wow. Muhammad and Katie popping in
Aw.
on the same day. What luck.
Dang.
Yay.
Awesome.
We are
Uh,
lucky.
Hello to Joel and Valisok. Dave Gregory. Robert Kaiser out in Austria. Badger, what's up? Joshua Reeve, hello. Sarit Karsten, hi. Chris Marshall, hi. Who else is hanging out with us? Rookie of the Year, Redshirt Bob. May Borello out in the May area who says, yay, Muhammad and John and Melissa, Matt and Ryan. But now she has to edit that because Muhammad's gone. Hello to Melanie Jean Mayfield, Angela L'Esperance. Hi to everybody. Thanks so much for partying with us today. It's going to be a good time. Mohammed in the live chat says, good to see everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Look at this guy. What a guy, right? What
Yay.
a guy.
Seriously, the
Yeah.
coolest.
The coolest.
All right. So I guess we should just talk about Star Trek news and stuff, right? Is that what we do here?
I
It
think
is
so.
what
Yeah, I
we
think
do here.
that's this show.
Oh, I'm gonna give this video a like right now because I forgot to do it at the top of the show.
Oh no,
So,
I just typed in share news just to see what's going on, and it's sad news actually. That's not
Oh
good.
no, what's happening? What's happening with Cher?
Her son, hospitalization for her son.
oh no,
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a bummer.
that is a bummer.
Anyway, yeah, that
Hmm.
sucks.
thanks for sucking me out of the
Uh,
room, Ryan.
yeah, really. But
Oh,
then there's a Cher produced horror film, Big Baby, that gets its first trailer 8 hours ago. That's cool.
Nice.
ooh,
All
That's
right.
like news from today. The news about her
yeah,
son was from like July or June. So she's got a new trailer out, Cher does. That's pretty cool.
that is
All
pretty
right.
cool.
That's our Cher news of the week. There'll be plenty more, I'm sure. So,
Many breaking stories in this
Hi,
podcast alone.
Lucia.
first
Oh,
up,
happy birthday yesterday, Lucia. Raz.
2 days ago for John Orchiola. Happy birthday, Lucia, out in Brazil. Do you know that the northern tip of Brazil is closer to Canada than it is to the southern tip of Brazil?
Did not
Okay.
You
know
know how
that.
I'd know this
Because I said
this
it before on this
fun
show, I
tip?
think.
Yeah.
It's so, oh yeah, I know one thing about Brazil. Let me show off.
Oh, you know a little bit more than that.
Yeah, maybe like 8 things in total. Uh, yeah, that's what it is. So Brazil is actually technically closer to every single American country than it is to the southern tip of Brazil,
That's
right? Including
crazy.
Canada. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
weird stuff. Brazil is weird. All right.
it's
So
big.
this first, yeah, that's true. Maybe like fifth or sixth biggest country in the world.
Mm.
This first article is from screenrant.com, written by John Orchiola.
Oh,
That's back of the head. What do you know? What luck that you're here.
What?
October 11th will be Star Trek's last big day in 2025. The last big day of the year. There are about 100 days left in this year, right?
mhm,
Give or take
mhm.
one day. Why is October 11th the big day to circle? And then we can nap through the rest of the year.
Well, there might be one or two smaller days of that are also significant towards the end of the year, but October 11th is New York Comic Con. Specifically, Saturday, October 11th is New York Comic Con's Star Trek Universe panel, which will have the cast and producers of Star Trek Starfleet Academy, and then also the cast and producers of Strange New Worlds. So what we're expecting on October 11th will be the last day where we get some big reveals about what will happen in 2026. So we're hoping for a new trailer for Starfleet Academy. We're hoping for the release date, the official release date, maybe some key art. We got a really cool poster at San Diego Comic Con of like the logo and the people walking over the logo, but maybe like we'll get another cool poster or something. So we'll get something, I hope, that is significant to get us really, really excited about Starfleet Academy, because if it drops like in January or February, that's not very long at all. It's like 2 or 3 months away. So we're actually very, very close to the first like new Star Trek show that we've seen in a couple of years. And then of course, Strange New
John, we're gonna have to correct you there. It's not 2 or 3 months away. Matt, I should call him Math Boardman, just confirmed that it's exactly 100 days till the end of the year. So we know it's gonna be more. Let's hear it for my public school math. All right.
Nice.
Anyway, please continue.
Right.
But you're right.
Well,
If we get an announcement, what if it is in January? We're super close.
yeah, yeah, January or
Happy
February.
birthday to me.
Because Section 31
Sorry.
dropped at the end of January, so maybe that's the time frame, January or February. Like Picard, I think season 3 dropped in February of 2023. So like we're probably roughly in that time frame. So yeah, it'll. So that's why October 11th will be the last big day. Also, let me humble brag because I'm at work right now.
Yeah.
It's for Screenrant, and I'm looking at our live dashboard. This October 11th will be Star Trek's last big day article. Is the #1 article on the site. So that's pretty awesome.
Yay!
Nice.
Star Trek fans are
Congrats!
showing out. They're showing out at Screen Rant.
And this isn't just
Yeah.
#1 Star Trek article on Screen Rant, right? This is #1 article in
Yeah.
all of Screen Rant. That's
Right now,
fantastic.
yeah, right this second.
That's
Cool.
great.
Wow. Pretty nice. It's because I'm not very good at reading, so I have to click on the same article 400 times.
We only want the click.
So we
I'm kidding. We also want you to read it.
we kind of touched on this a little bit last week, I think it was, trying to predict what's going to be announced at New York Comic Con because they love New York Comic Con for big announcements. God knows they don't like making announcements at STLV for whatever reason. They do like that big convention in South America. I think maybe it's in Brazil.
Brazil.
They've made some announcements there too, which was really surprising. And they do some for Star Trek Day, but it seems like New York Comic Con seems to be where the most announcements come from, even more than San Diego, right? So what do you think?
Right.
Are
right.
we're gonna get, and I don't know why, what is it about New York that's better than San Diego in that regard?
New York is almost as big. Well, San Diego is like, it's the biggest con for all nerd stuff.
Tell me about
But
it.
New York actually has a little bit more prestige. I think it actually is bigger in terms of attendance. And so, yeah, and obviously because it's also New York, all the media is there. So Paramount loves that as a major studio. Paramount loves the big cons more than, let's say, STLV or even their own Star Trek Day for announcing things, just because all the media is already concentrated there. And, it's the maximum coverage. It's the maximum eyeballs and attendance you can have for a major announcement outside of going to CinemaCon or something like that. So that's kind of why like Star Trek Day, for instance, right? We would love a major announcement like this on Star Trek Day, but the studio itself likes to save their big stuff for the big cons.
Yeah, it seems like Star Trek Day gets the more in-house announcements, like come check out these articles on StarTrek.com and look at these new YouTube videos, whereas the big mainstream announcements are for New York. And by the way, Lucia Raz reminds us that the big convention in Brazil is CCCP, which I thought was Russia.
I don't think it's CCCP.
No, I know.
CC.
That was on Ivan Drago's tights in Rocky IV.
Right. Yeah, that's how I like it.
But you can
He's
also
not a
find that
man.
at CCXP.
He's a chunk of iron. Anyway, yeah, but that is the thing,
He dies.
CCXP, right?
But also maybe they save it for New York Comic Con because it's the last big convention, mega convention of the year, maybe?
Yeah, that's right.
So, John, if you had to predict, if they said, John, you win $1 million if you get this right, but if you get it wrong, we'll shave your eyebrows, then, and they asked you this question, what will be announced at New York Comic Con out of one, a premiere date for Starfleet Academy, a new trailer for Starfleet Academy. What were the other things that we had? There are a couple other
Casting.
things. Casting announcement for Starfleet Academy. Maybe some Star Trek 4 news.
No.
Maybe some strange, maybe a new Strange New World season 4 teaser. What do you, out of all or other, what else could be? Yeah.
My guess is full trailer for Starfleet Academy with release date at the end. Something announced about season 2, which is filming now. So maybe, also Paul Giamatti is there at New York Comic Con, and he wasn't at San Diego.
Oh,
so I think
boy.
we'll see a lot of him in whatever trailer, or we'll find out a lot about his new villain, because he's been a little bit under wraps since San Diego Comic Con. So I think this is his big coming out party as hey, I'm the big new villain of Star Trek. And then for Strange New Worlds, I think we're gonna kind of like how we in 2023, we got a clip of Ortegas going on her first away mission, and then in 2024 at San Diego, we got the little clip of the 4 Vulcans I think we'll get a
Mhm.
clip of season 4, something from season 4. Maybe the puppets because they already announced it.
Right.
So
What
that's what we're looking. That's what I'm looking at.
what is the puppets thing? What's going on there?
Episode
I don't
with
know.
puppets.
Yeah.
That's all we know
I mean,
so far.
and in terms of Star Trek 4, well, the thing is that this is a Paramount Plus panel, so it's streaming. It's about the streaming shows. It won't be about. It's not a Paramount Studios like movie panel. So I don't think we'll hear anything about
Gotcha.
Star Trek 4 or any of the Paramount movies until sometime next year
What?
when they get their house in order at Skydance, at Paramount Skydance, and
Right.
there's an actual plan in place that they can announce again because they've already announced like the Star Trek Origins movie last year and nothing came of it. So and they already announced Star Trek 4 because they had a new screenwriter and nothing came of it. So
Yeah, so what? Yeah, because that's two different movies, right?
Yeah.
yeah, they're two
Yep.
different movies.
And both have been announced several times over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's the new in
But
vogue, right? You announce a movie and then you never actually make it.
never
Right.
gonna get it. That's an En Vogue joke.
It is. But I think the buzz around Star Trek 4 is gaining more traction now because Zachary Quinto keeps bringing it up and keeps
Yeah.
pushing
Yeah.
for it to happen. So I
Yeah,
think
he's the
that's
latest.
what.
He's the latest of the actors. But I mean, it's a thing where anytime any of those actors, any of those 6 or 7 actors who are in the J.J. Abrams movies do any type of press for anything else they're doing, somebody, one of our, some outlet, sometimes it's us, will automatically ask me about Star Trek 4 because, just to get the quote, because they will all say the same thing. We want to do it. And that helps fuel the possibility that it could actually happen one day, 10 years later, 11 years later. So,
But do they all want to do it? Because look at Zoe Saldana. Look
she
at
does.
She
Chris
does.
Hemsworth. I mean, a lot of these people are like pretty big time and pretty busy
Mhm.
now. Like they don't.
Hemsworth Hemsworth was he was George Kirk in the first Abrams movie.
Right. And I know that they
One
were
idea,
talking about bringing him back.
yeah. That was a scrapped idea. There was a team up idea where somehow James T. Kirk would find his father alive, and they would team up together, and that got to a certain point in development, but I don't think they could make it work. And then I think whoever the director was attached to that idea, maybe it was S.J. Clarkson, I think, left the project for creative differences. So, and then, there have been so many directors who were attached to Star Trek 4 and
So many
left because of creative
writers
differences.
too.
And so many writers too, yeah. Like the most recent one announced last year was Steve Yockey, who did The Flight Attendant for HBO, the one with Kaylee Cuoco. But again, that was just announced that he's writing it. It's been a year, I think, since that announcement. We don't know anything about it. So
It makes me think of the whole I don't know if you guys remember this, but they had announced another Battlestar Galactica series. And I mean, we're talking like 2012, 2013. And I mean, it was being talked about. And then it was like at one point, oh, this person's attached to the project. Now this person's attached to the project. And I think the most recent thing that I finally heard, or I heard, was is that they finally just like, no, this is not going to happen after,
Wow.
10 years
yeah, it was
of
dropped.
yeah, they finally just said, we
And
better
they
not.
brought it to Ron Moore too. They asked Ron Moore, "Hey, do you want another crack at it?" Because I think I talked to him about it really at some point late last year, and just off the record or whatever, or just in private. And he basically said, yeah, like I took a swing at it too, and just like I couldn't figure out like how to do it again, better or differently. He already did it. So and it was great. Like how do you top what he did?
Yeah, that's what
How
I was
does he
wondering.
top
How
what
do
he did
you
again?
how do
Why
you
would he do it
hire the
again?
same showrunner to redo the same show that he already did 10 years prior?
Yeah,
Right.
Like, I mean, George
and it was
Lucas would do it.
incredible.
He would add some extra tauntauns in there, but that's really it.
Houdini.
That's what you need. You just need Tauntauns walking by the Battlestar Galactica ship while they're like the silence are
That'd be
checking.
nice. That'd be nice. So, anyway, so back to New York, you say a trailer,
Yep. With
uh,
Paul Giamatti emphasized.
a premiere date, and what were the other things?
Casting
Probably
and
probably something for season 2. Some announcement for season 2.
Some
A
announcement
glimpse
for
of season 2.
season 2. What
Yeah.
about any kind of casting news? Because they do like to drop a
Possibly.
new casting thing.
Yeah. Possibly some casting.
Hmm.
I have no idea they haven't announced anything for season 2 yet. Because like there will be a new villain for season 2. Paul Giamatti's only
Right.
in it season 1. So maybe they've got another movie star that bombshell announcement that they're going to drop, that who's the season 2 villain.
And then the other thing is, are they going to announce anything to do with Star Trek 4 or any Star Trek movie or anything out of
No,
left field?
not New York Comic Con. Not at New York Comic Con. 'Cause again, it's only Paramount Plus. It's a Paramount Plus panel. It's not Paramount Studios, the movie division.
Got it. So are they going to give us a teaser of Strange New World season 4?
Possibly. Possibly. We might get something. We might get a clip.
Maybe we'll get episode names for that or Starfleet Academy.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh. I think Starfleet Academy is really more of the focus of this one, though, because
Oh, yeah.
it's the next show coming up. You know, Strange New World will
Mhm.
be there, of course. They're going to try to avoid season 3. I don't think they're going to bring up season 3 at all. They're going to look ahead to season 4, and they'll inevitably also be asked about season 5, which is in production now.
Yeah.
Everyone's in Toronto shooting it.
That's crazy
Yeah.
that we just finished season 3 and they're in the middle of knocking out season 5. All
And they
6
just
episodes.
wrapped season 4 too at the end
Yep,
of
3 months
July.
That's true.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's less than a 2-month turnaround. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you think that's going to be the entirety of all Star Trek news, John Archiola? Do you think there's
I
going
think
to
so.
be any,
It's
do you
only an
think there's going to
hour-long
be
panel.
any other kind of news, sci-fi news? Like, are they going to announce something new with Babylon 5? Because Babylon 5 was all the scuttlebutt a while back.
Well, I don't. Is that a Paramount thing? I don't know. Like this panel that
No,
specifically you're
I'm just
talking
saying
about
in
is Paramount
general at
Plus.
New York Comic Con.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know like what really is going to be at New York Comic Con. I don't only care about Star Trek. Everything else, I just kind of, is in the
Oh, wait,
periphery.
what about wrestling? You care about wrestling. Wasn't there wrestling news we were talking about today?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm glad this is now the wrestling show.
I
No,
forgot
just
what it
like
was already, but
no. Well, okay. So apparently that may not have been real. That review. There was a
Oh.
review on ESPN about Monday Night Raw this past week,
Oh, that's what it
2
was.
days ago, where like ESPN trashed it. Because WWE and ESPN are now like together. They're working together, and so all WWE PLEs, all their pay-per-views are on ESPN now. But an actual reviewer from ESPN reviewed WrestlePalooza on Saturday, like the first pay-per-view event on ESPN, and gave it a C because it wasn't good. And so, despite all the hype for it, there was so much hype for it, and it was
Live
just like it
chat
was like
is not having a
I
good
was just
time.
gonna say.
this is Ryan's fault. I'm sorry.
The live chat is not having a good time.
What are you talking about? This is just news. This is
Mark
just
Zetkov says
news.
stop. Joel M. Velasok says no wrestling.
I
Lucia
saw
Rouse says no wrestling,
today.
please.
I saw an old picture of Undertaker wrestling against who is that Giant Gonzalez or something like
Oh
that.
yeah.
And I forgot how revealing his outfit was. Do you
Well,
remember?
it's a full
What was his
bodysuit
name?
with
Was
painted
it
on.
Giant
It
Gonzalez?
was Giant Gonzalez. Yeah, it was definitely Giant Gonzalez.
Linda
Okay,
Emmerich
so
says wrestling.
Well, there is going to be some wrestling tied to Starfleet Academy because Becky Lynch
Absolutely.
is cast in
Yeah.
that show. Maybe we'll get to see her if there's a new trailer. Maybe we'll find out her character's name or something.
all right,
gonna
so
end
we're
up
going to move
seeing
on from
some-
wrestling, but I just want everybody to know this is Giant Gonzalez, who was so big and so tall, he made the Undertaker look
7'7",
small.
7 feet 7 inches tall.
But
I
his
think he's dead now.
outfit was a little ridiculous.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a full painted bodysuit.
I mean, but why is he wearing that?
He's supposed to be a
Yeah.
Sasquatch. He's supposed to be like a human Sasquatch.
He is
Yeah.
tall.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was. Yeah, he's 7'7".
Wow. Oh,
Anyway.
Sarit Karsten says, go back to Starfleet Academy, please.
Okay. But look at, okay, I just thought that this
But
guy
look
had a
at-
weird outfit.
Okay,
Anyway,
but look
all
at
right. So, All right, so back to work. Back to this is the only way we can get John Orchiola on the main viewers. I have to bribe him with wrestling talk. I told him, I literally said we could talk about wrestling for the entire hour, and he's like, "Okay, I'm in."
He did say
So
this, by the way.
yeah, I did. I'm doing this for you guys because if no wrestling, no John Orchiola. Anyway, so back to New York Comic Con. Any other final thoughts on that before we move on?
Yeah. Like it should be a significant day, and it is going to be the last day in 2025 to get something major to get us hyped up for 2026. Remember, 2026 is the 60th anniversary year of Star Trek, and it's gonna be big. But the two Paramount Plus shows are pretty much going to be it in terms of like new content. And I think it's 20 new episodes of Star Trek over the course of the year. And then we hopefully will get some announcements about new movies and other things. But these two shows are going to be how we celebrate Star Trek for year 60.
I want to talk about that, but first I have to address what Linda Anderegg brought up in the live chat. She said, okay, then female wrestling. So,
Sure, let's do it.
Yeah.
Well, is there not
Well,
a female
because
wrestler in Starfleet Academy?
that's why she said, okay,
Is
fine, then female wrestling. Yes.
yeah.
We just
Honestly,
mentioned that.
the women's wrestling is the best part of pro wrestling now. In every company, the women are
And there's a
killing it.
new, what is it, WOW wrestling? They have
Well,
their
WoW's been
own
around
company.
forever. Yeah,
And
women of
before that,
wrestling has
there
been
was,
around.
well, no,
Glow,
it came back, didn't it? And yeah, and there was also Glow. But
yeah,
there's
Glow's
been a
in the
bunch
80s.
of, yeah. So
That
anyway,
was
yeah, we could
fun.
do an hour on women's wrestling.
Yeah, I'd love it.
AJ Lee is back. Okay. That's it.
Yes.
No, Lucia Raz is like giving the thumbs down so hard right now. But AJ Lee is back, so that should make a lot of
AJ.
people happy. She's a great wrestler.
Hmm.
Um, anyway,
Met her many times.
and what was that movie about in the British girl wrestler?
Oh yeah, Fighting with My Family, which Florence
So
Pugh
good.
playing Paige. It was really great. It was great.
Such a good movie. And The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke was a
Yes,
great
the rest was a
movie.
classic.
No Holds Barred was a great movie.
Ready to Rumble with David
All
Arquette.
right. Anyway,
Okay, let's get back to
Matt's
Star
Matt's
Trek.
getting pissed off.
No,
I know, I know.
it doesn't bug me. I was just watching to see what everybody's saying in the live chat. It's cracking me up.
Everybody's so
Yeah.
angry. Everybody's angry
S
that they were for season 3 of Strange New
Sarit
Worlds.
Karsten says we can talk about soccer in Brazil, Lucia. See, that's a thing. Ooh, the World Cup's next year. That's gonna be all the rage. That's all we're gonna talk about. Okay. So up next, everybody, check this out. This is from a website called trekmovie.com. What, you don't like
That's
Trek
the one I
movie?
think it is.
Joel.
Watch the entire Center Seat Star Trek docuseries now streaming online for free. What? Remember when we had to like sign up for the History Channel to watch it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Where is it streaming now, Melissa?
YouTube.
On Nacelle's channel.
What?
Yeah. They're
Really?
streaming it on their channel. YouTube
Ooh,
channel.
that's very bright.
I'm trying to find that funny comment, but I'm not seeing it. Okay.
There's a couple of funny comments.
Yeah, but I'm trying to find one that really stands out. Okay, so
Oh.
uh here it is. I'll read a little bit of this because this is big news. This is big time. In 2021, the docuseries The Center Seat 55 years of Star Trek debuted, described as the definitive in-depth journey behind the scenes of one of the greatest landmark franchises of all time. The first episodes aired on the History Channel, and then the final half streamed on the History Vault. But now you can watch all 11 episodes for free on YouTube. Center Seat goes free. The series was produced by the Nacelle Company, known for the popular Netflix docuseries The Toys That Made Us and The Movies That Made Us. Nacelle CEO Brian Volkweiss, friend of the show, is a true fan as evidenced by the company's new line of Star Trek action figures. In a 2021 interview with Trek Movie, he described the docuseries as by a Trekkie for a Trekkie. He had a lot of expert help, including executive producer Mark Altman, co-host of the Inglorious Treksperts podcast, and co-author of the 50-Year Mission, the complete, uncensored, unauthorized oral history of Star Trek. The center seat is narrated by Star Trek Next Generation's Gates McFadden and features new interviews with luminaries from across the franchise, from in front and behind the camera, as well as Star Trek experts and historians. This is combined with archival footage and interviews, all presented with the lighter tone Nacelle is known for with their docuseries. Trek Movies Review summed up the series as, quote, a fun way to see the story of our beloved franchise come alive.
Very cool.
John,
Can
did
I
you see
also
this?
say,
Yeah.
yes, can I also say that there is a book version of this, a companion book version, which is an oral history of Star Trek, which has interviews with dozens and dozens of creative people throughout the 55
Right.
years
Written
covered,
by our
and it's written
friend
by
Peter Holstrom.
Peter Holmstrom. Yeah, shout
Yeah.
out to Peter. You did a great
Love
job.
that dude. Melissa,
Mhm.
are you watching a mosquito flying around?
I was looking to see if I have that book
Oh.
readily available. Because I
Yeah,
have
mine's in
that
LA
book.
still. I left it in LA.
Yeah, Peter Holmstrom sent us a couple. I've got mine as well back
Yeah.
yonder, back behind Starfleet
Yeah,
Academy there.
it's just not readily handy. I don't know where I put it. Where did I put it?
So any overall thoughts on that one, Mr. John Orchiola?
It's a great documentary, and I haven't watched every episode actually, but I'm working through it on YouTube. I
Yeah, you
remember
can.
watching some of it in 2021 when it first came out. I have read the whole book, but yeah, it's awesome. It's all on YouTube. It's narrated by Gates. It's got a lot of really cool like minutia and trivia and stories about the various generations of Star Trek. It's free. It's a great watch.
Yeah, Gates is definitely Team Nacelle because, as you know, she does the podcast through them, which is
I think
Investigates. That's the
I think the
same company that
podcast
does
came
that.
out of this. That the podcast kind of like was a result of how well she did narrating this documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Is she still doing it? I thought it paused for a moment.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There were two
It
seasons,
did
I believe.
pause, but
Yeah.
might still be going. Maybe there's just long gaps in between seasons. Okay. Live chat, let us know. Did you watch the docu-series, The Center Seat? I watched a lot of it. I loved it.
I haven't seen it, so now I don't have an
Me
excuse
neither.
not to.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. This is exciting. I want you guys to see
Yeah.
it and let us know what you think of it.
So yeah.
Yeah, now I don't, it's not on the History Channel behind a paywall.
Right. Exactly.
Joel says the center seat is so good. Dave Gregory says, love the center seat and the book. Linda Andreich says, I can finally watch it. You guys should watch the Deep Space Nine one because there's a lot of Cirroc Lofton in that one.
Nice.
So this is
I
good
watched the
stuff.
trailer because it's attached to the article that's in that I included in the email. And so I watched the trailer and it has Cirroc talking about his tight uniforms and what happens sometimes with dudes in those tight outfits.
What do you mean? They sweat?
Whoops. I can only
I don't
imagine
know.
what he was going through as a teenager going through puberty and
Oh my
those outfits.
Is that a
Poor
phaser
guy.
in your pocket?
John Orgill is watching it right now. He's like,
Poor
I'm out of here.
guy.
I'm watching this thing. He was
But
totally
somebody
watching something.
There was a comment in the live chat that said that it was the first that this is the first that they've heard of this series. So that's huge.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's great that they're re-releasing it. It's great. It's available for free on YouTube, which is like available to everybody. It's because
Yeah.
you're right. It was hard to find it on in the History Channel. It was
Was
behind a
it?
paywall, and it took effort to get
Yeah.
it. But here, just pop it on YouTube. You can literally just put in Star Trek, and it'll probably just pop up.
Yeah. Make it accessible.
Let's
YouTube
find
is the
out.
biggest delivery is the biggest media delivery system in the world. More people are on YouTube than anything else, and
Hmm.
so yeah,
So I
I
just
love
typed in
television.
YouTube.
center seat 55 years of Star Trek. It's a playlist that was updated 2 days ago. And the first episode has 30,000 views. And obviously it dips down after that because people watch the first. They're going to get to the next one later, later, later. So check this out. Yeah, just type in center seat and everything else will pop up really easily for you. Love Brian Volkweiss, love the nacelle group. Uh, Great stuff. They also made a
Mm.
Nog action figure, so forever in our hearts.
Yeah. Well, it was so great meeting Brian Folkweiss in person in Vegas because he's just an awesome
Yeah,
dude.
he's awesome. I think I interviewed him for the center seat back in 2021 or 2022. And he was amazing to talk to. I mean, he is a wealth of Star Trek knowledge, and he loves it, and he's super enthusiastic.
That's so cool.
That's right.
I
I got
love
to
talking
interview
to
him
the.
on stage in Vegas, actually. That
Oh,
was a
did
good
you? Oh,
time.
cool. I love those people that it's like you think you have Star Trek knowledge, and then you start talking to these people, and you're like, I am way out of my depth with this person. They know things that I'm like,
Paging Larry Nemeczek.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Oh, that would be a heavyweight match. Get those two going together on stage.
All right. So this next article here is from screenrant.com because John's got to leave
Hey,
soon. So I want to jump on his mind and see what's going on in there.
oh,
Uh,
this, yeah.
Oh, I really
10
enjoyed
things
this.
I'm
Thanks,
glad.
John.
Thank you.
10
Yeah.
things I loved about Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3. Here are 10 things I loved about Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3, recently completed on Paramount Plus. Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3 proved to be divisive among Star Trek fans, and it was less warmly received than the previous two seasons. First of all, can we just talk about that? John, why do you think it was less warmly received than
Oh,
the
it's not
first
my
two seasons?
opinion. I mean,
I know,
it's
but I'm saying, why do you think
it
that's the
bears out.
case?
For instance, the Rotten Tomatoes audience score is I think at like 55%, which was much lower than seasons 1 and 2, which were like in the 70s or 80s,
Right. But
or possibly higher.
what do you think caused fans to like it less?
Well, I'm glad you asked because I did write an article about this
Thanks.
last week. Yeah, so I mean, which I believe was titled Seven Reasons Why, something like Seven Reasons Why
Yeah.
Strange New World Season 3 angered Star Trek fans. But it
Oh
boiled
yeah.
down to, I think it boiled down to some issues like the 2 year wait, and then what the episodes ultimately were about didn't jive with a lot of the audience who were hoping for something else from Strange New Worlds, something more Star Trek. I know 4.5 Vulcans was so controversial. A lot of people did not like it, and they have very specific reasons why they didn't like it. I think the amount of comedy was also a problem, or just the dancing apparently was also an issue.
So
But there were
weird.
yeah, there were just a number of things that added up. It wasn't one specific thing, but the season was just not as beloved as seasons 1 and 2. Um, so I wrote this just because, like, I loved season 3. I genuinely did. Did every episode work 100% for me? No, there were things, of course, you know, I like more than
Of
others.
course.
But at the same time, I enjoyed every episode. I found things to love in every episode. I love this cast. I love watching them perform. Everybody obviously had a good time making this, and you could see it in every episode, especially the comedy ones, the controversial comedy ones. So I was thinking about season 3, and I also realized, like, nobody's talking about what they actually loved about season 3. So I thought
Yeah, what's up with that? Well,
yeah.
before we get into this
I thought
article
I'd do one.
then, John, what was your favorite episode of season 3?
Um, Valerie Weiss's episode number 6, 306, The Satellite Who Ate Its Tail, just because it was the Kirk coming out party, and everybody was in it. The entire cast was in it. Everybody had something really cool to do. But it was also like, I'm a big Paul Wesley fan. I love the guy. I've gotten to meet him a few times. He's fantastic. I love his Kirk. And I felt this was the one where he really finally put all the pieces together, and he emerged as the Kirk that I can see him becoming eventually William Shatner. Like I thought he really kind of, from his prior appearances and his alternate universe versions of Kirk, he really kind of coalesced it all, and we got to see him really kind of taking that big leap towards becoming the Captain Kirk that we know. And then Spock was right there also with forming that bromance, which we saw a lot more of with the mind meld in the finale. Spoilers, been out for 2 weeks, but so that was my favorite episode.
All right.
Yeah.
So here we go. Let's jump into this thing. I'm just going to read off these 10 things individually,
Okay.
and you give us your thoughts on it if that's okay. So the first one is Rhys Darby was brilliant as Trelane in Star Trek Strange New Worlds season 3. Oh,
Wasn't he?
spoilers,
Wasn't he
everybody.
just great? Wasn't he just fantastic? Like what a great comedic performance. Like he totally tapped into William Campbell in The Squire of Gothos, but he also kind of made it his own a little bit. And just like I thought he was fantastic. Like what more could you possibly want from him? He was great. I don't know
That
how you
was
bring him back. I wish there was a way to bring him back. I don't know if they should, but I'd love to see more of that.
that was an early on episode, like 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah,
I
that was
thought that
episode
was the
two.
most 2. I thought that was the most rewatchable episode of the season,
Yeah.
personally.
Oh yeah, it's so much fun. And
Next one.
I loved I I loved Wham playing "Wake Me Up Before You Go" at the end when the big dance thing. I loved
Yes!
it. I loved it.
I love that song.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is good knowledge. The next one is Jess Bush got to speak with her native Australian accent in Star
Yes.
Trek
Yeah.
Strange New Worlds season 3.
Yeah, I think all of us have met Jess in real life, and I've gotten to interview her a few times, and she's fantastic. But yeah, she plays American. She plays Chapel as American. I think Chapel was born in Vermont. I think that's canon. So, Chrissy Chong obviously plays La'an with her native British accent. So it was really cool to hear Jess actually just get to sound like herself for once on the
Mhm.
show.
Yeah, and it's interesting that Ethan Peck is actually very thick accented Austrian, but he does a pretty good American
Right.
accent, right? So
He sounds very
that's
German in real life.
yeah, and
What?
Paul Wesley is extremely
Hungarian.
Alaskan.
Yeah.
So, what do
It's
Alaskans
like two
sound
Cold War
like?
spies talking in real life when those two get together.
Next,
These are all lies. People, these are all lies. These are all lies.
you would love this. We found out about number one's romantic past with Doug.
Yeah. Well, I thought this was a fun curveball. I thought, just
So cute.
Rebecca Romaine playing really goofy was fun. And number one has existed since the very, very beginning of Star Trek. She was one of the OG characters. And so for 59 years, we didn't know anything about her. Like, who was she? Did she ever have a relationship? Did she ever love anybody? Did she ever, like we found out she was Illyrian.
Right.
We found out a little bit about her past, but like, it's awesome to find out like why, like she had a relationship with Patton Oswalt, and like who could see that coming? And then also Doug, and it explains a lot about like because she was supposed to be Spock in the very beginning, right? Like her character was the logical one. Her character was the serious one. And then when Star Trek was recast with William Shatner and the whole thing for the second pilot,
Right.
the qualities of number one were transferred to Spock, and then that's how they created the whole Vulcan race and the whole Vulcan mythology. So it's a kind of a neat callback to that in a way, like a very, very subtle callback to what number one was originally supposed to be when she was first created 60 years ago, 59 years ago. So I thought that's like a neat little thing. Like, yeah, of course you'd be into a Vulcan, and this Vulcan
Right.
of all Vulcans. So that's fun.
The most Vulcan.
She's like Una's Captain Baudet, right?
Oh, Captain
Right.
Baudet.
Oh, we still need to see that dude and his transparent skull.
Yeah. But we did see them in lower decks, right? Like we saw what the
Right.
race looked like.
Hmm.
Yeah.
The what are they called again? Galamite.
Gallimites.
Yeah.
The
Gallimites, yeah.
Gallimites, yeah.
Okay. Up next is what is Starfleet? Had Star Trek Strange New World's most innovative visuals and editing. What do you mean by that?
Well, I'm a film guy. I love filmmaking. And what is Starfleet? Like the documentary style that they employed for it, with the editing and the camera angles and the cuts to make it feel like a single camera run and gun documentary that was shot by Beto Ortega's first person, I thought was really, really cool. Like I know the episode didn't work for a lot of people substantially. Like I think Sean Farrick and I had a chat about that in Trek Culture where the episode didn't work for him. But visually, it's great. The editing is fantastic. Like it looks like no other Star Trek episode. And in terms of like what it was supposed to be, which is a documentary, like I thought it delivered.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it was certainly something we'd never seen before, which was great. But here's something very interesting. The next one is, in your own words, Christina Chong and Ethan Peck have incredible chemistry in Star Trek
I
Strange New Worlds
agree.
season 3.
I
I
mean,
agree too.
pretty
Yeah.
I
self-explanatory.
agree.
Yeah, like it was I think we all felt the same when it first started in Wedding Bell Blues, like when they
Yep.
started dancing and we started thinking, wait, are these two gonna what? What is this? Like, because like we were thinking Kirk, we were thinking La'an and Kirk. That was built up all throughout season 2.
Right.
And then like, well, what's happening here? But then like you watch them together and you watch them dancing, and then you start like I started thinking about like the two characters. Why would these two characters be attracted to each other? And like they're so similar. They're both harboring trauma. They both keep it hidden, and they both but they're both super efficient or no nonsense. And, like they don't let people in easily. Like they have a lot in common. And then when you realize what the dancing was really about, when you track the arc throughout the 3 episodes when they're dancing, episode 2, episode 5, and episode 4.5 Vulcans, episode 8, which is a fight scene. When you realize that that dancing is their intimate language. It's how they communicate with each other. It's their truest. It's the two of them only communicating their truest selves to each other. And so when La'an
Like
was a
you and me
Vulcan,
when we talk wrestling.
right, yeah, like the intimacy, the mind
Our true
between us when we
selves.
talk wrestling, our true selves, our souls connecting. So that's essentially what the fight scene was in 4.5 Vulcans when she was still kind of Khan. She was Khan-like, and then they fought and then they danced. That's how he broke through and tapped into who she really was, and that's why she came out of it and decided to become herself again and rejected her volcanity or her connicity. I don't know.
Her
But that's
volcanism? No, that's
Well,
something else.
yeah, I mean, because they had said that none of them had learned how to tap into their katra, so of course they're going to go off the deep end as being Vulcans because they hadn't learned to hone those skills. So Spock breaking down those walls with La'an was a very important scene. It worked for me, and being
yeah,
a dancer and having dance partners, that is a different kind of intimacy. Your dance partner and you have this shared language that no one else has.
yeah. So it worked for me too.
Yeah, I think they're great. And in fact, that scene in the 8th episode I thought was great too. I didn't think, I
I
saw
loved
some
it.
people complaining about it, but I was like, no, this works. This is fine. This is
Yeah.
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is good stuff. Okay, the next one is, oh boy. Spock and Kirk's bromance really begins in Star Trek Strange New Worlds season 3.
If you
Yeah.
really think about it, in season 2, they met each other, right? Uhura introduced them in episode 206, I think it was, at the very, very end. And then they saw each other again during the musical. And Kirk was like teasing Spock, but they weren't friends. They weren't friends yet. So the friendship really started to
Well,
begin in.
now hang on a second. I remember hearing Spock say, I am and always have been your friend. So I believe they always have been friends, according to Spock.
Well, yeah, sure. If you want to go into the whole Vesda thing where of effect before cause in the finale, yeah, sure. They've always been friends. Um, but yes, like, their friendship began somewhere, and we finally got to see it, how it actually happens in Prime Universe canon. So,
Yeah.
306, Spock kind of gives Kirk that hard talking to that kind of gave him back his confidence. And then the mind meld in 310 in the
Oh,
finale.
I
Yeah,
love that. I love that.
yeah, I thought
Yes.
it was great. And then they know a little bit about each other.
Yeah.
Kirk knows all about the dancing, and Spock knows about what happened on that moon in Orion, which he can't judge Kirk too harshly for. So it's
But
good.
speaking of which, you mentioned it just a minute ago, but you know what is the dumbest Star Trek alien ever? The Vesda. Okay. So I'm gonna cut that out. The next one is Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3 introduced three great recurring guest stars. Great, huh? Explain yourself.
Yes, yes, this surprised and delighted me in season three. Is that this cast was already so big, right? But then they introduced three new characters who recurred throughout the season, and all of them were important. All of them were great. I also got to interview all three of them and kind of befriend them, which is really nice. Um, they were all spectacular actors and really great characters. There was, obviously we had Roger Corby, which is Killian O'Sullivan, who
Mhm.
Nurse Chapel's new love interest, her boyfriend, who was awesome, and we got to see him like see little elements of how he's going to turn evil in the original series when he becomes like there were all these little mentions of him
Mm.
like, oh, you're the man who wants to be immortal, and things like that, and you got to see a little bit of the darkness in him. He seems to be a really good guy, a really good boyfriend to her, but there's something off with him that we're seeing that they're not seeing yet. So I thought that was really well done. And then Minor Lucan as Beto, as Ortega's younger brother, who is also like the first love interest in canon for Uhura, which is
Hmm.
and I thought they had really good chemistry together, and he also had really good chemistry with Melissa Navia, his sister. Um, and also some trivia: Minor Lucan worked on Christina Chong's new album, so he wrote up one of the songs and he sings on one of the songs, and I think he co-wrote another
Wow.
one. So yeah, they've been
Cool.
working together. And then Chris Myers, who I think needs to be shouted out. He played Ensign Dana Gamble in 2 or 3 episodes. He came on as like just this really charming like young ensign that Dr. Mbenga loved, his protege. I thought they had really great chemistry. And then like he turned, he became the villain of the season, and I thought he was appropriately menacing as the villain. Like I thought, he basically played two different characters throughout the season, and he did a really great job. So shout out to all three of them because again, three guest stars came on the show and were all very, very important to the overall narrative. They were all like really distinctive. They needed to be shouted out.
Up next, Anson Mount's two wildest Star Trek Strange New Worlds performances.
Another another standout, right? Like, obviously he's Pike. And I saw some people complaining about Pike this season, like that Pike was somehow less cool this season, or more like, or like or they just weren't digging like his relationship
Interesting.
with Battelle. But like, and again, I don't know. There's enough appreciation for Anson going all in on these two alternate versions of Pike. Like he played T.K. Bellows in A Space Adventure Hour, the holodeck version of Gene Roddenberry. And it's such a weird performance. Like it's such an unusual.
It's
Like I just
freaking
love watching it.
amazing.
It's such a weird, like strangely detailed performance, and like remember Jonathan Frakes talking about how he was like channeling Gene Roddenberry. I met Roddenberry. I told him kind of like how he was and how he sounded, and like they could work together to try to make this guy kind of like Roddenberry. And like it's such a I thought to me it's the most fun performance in that episode. Like when I rewatch that episode, it's the one I focus on. And then he comes back as Vulcan Pike, which I thought was hilarious. He was very, very loud. He was very, very loud as a Vulcan. And
And
Dr.
clean.
Emega, what would your
So
assessment of the situation
clean.
be?
And he did the opening. He did the opening narration as a very loud Vulcan pipe.
Oh,
Space, the final
that's
frontier.
hilarious. That was
That killed me
hilarious.
every time I hear it.
Yeah,
So
that was
freaking
hilarious.
hilarious.
Up
He just
next.
looked like he was having fun, you know?
Yeah, he was having fun.
All right, so our next one is Paul Wesley became Captain Kirk in Star Trek Strange New Worlds season
But
3.
we skipped one. We also skipped Ortega's. Her solo effort was worth the wait, and it was.
Oh, right.
Terrarium
I'm
was
so
great.
sorry. Lieutenant Ortega's Star Trek Strange New Worlds solo episode was worth the wait. Tell us why.
Well, we waited 3 years for it. We waited for Ortega to have a whole episode to herself where we found out a lot about her. And if you track season 3, you watch it from start to finish, Ortega's was a very, very important, almost central character throughout season 3, from her escaping the Gorn ship and being mortally wounded and bleeding
Yeah.
out all over the Gorn ship, and then the trauma that came with it. And then you track her behavior throughout the episodes when she was on the bridge when number one was in command, and her acting out and defying orders and doing, it follows through all throughout. And then of course she finally faces her trauma by the sheer coincidence of crash landing on a planet where there's already a Gorn. But then we find out it wasn't a coincidence. It was all manipulated by, spoilers, by the Metron. And but it was in terms of a solo showcase by Melissa Navia, I mean, you could not ask for more. She was incredible in that entire episode because she basically did it all by herself. She had a Gorn prosthetic with her with a stuntman inside, but it was basically 90% of the episode was just her alone acting with herself. And I mean, she was incredible. I told her this actually. I interviewed her for the episode, and I told her this is true. Back in the 90s, I was living in New York, and I got to go see Patrick Stewart do a one-man play of The Tempest.
Fun.
And that was amazing. That's a core memory of mine, where just to watch Patrick Stewart for 90 minutes, just alone on stage, playing the entire Tempest by himself. And it reminded me of that. She was that good, I thought.
Wow. High praise. So now, up next is Paul Wesley became Captain Kirk in Star Trek Strange New Worlds season 3.
Yeah.
He really kind of leaned into it a bit more. Is that right?
Yeah. To me, this was him really becoming Kirk. And throughout the press for season 3, Akiva Goldsman and Henry Alonso Myers talked nonstop basically about their hopes to make a Kirk spinoff about his first year as captain of the Enterprise.
It's
And I
going to
think this is the
happen,
episode
right?
where, I don't know. I mean, I would love to see it, but I have no idea if it could actually happen. But when they were talking about that, people were just like, why, right? People were just like, I mean, that doesn't sound very interesting or creative. But I think this episode changed a lot of minds, or at least got people more interested in it. Because you got to see the possibility of Paul Wesley as Kirk and Ethan Peck as Spock together as the Kirk and Spock that we know. And I think this one, I think this episode and Paul Wesley's performance really kind of made you see that he really could be a Kirk, that this could be a viable thing. So, again, I'm not 100% love everything about season 3. Yes, there are problems with it, and we could go into that in another podcast. But these are some of the things I like. This is not an exhaustive list, but these are the things that stood out to me that I thought I would like to shout out. And so I did, because I have an outlet and I can do that.
Before you go, John Orchiola, let me ask you this. What would you rather see if Skydance says, John, you seem like a good guy. You write a lot of stuff for Screen Rant. You got a cool handle back of the head. But we're in a quandary. We only have the budget for one show. Should we do the whatever it's called, the Strange New World spin-off of the original series?
Right.
What's it called?
Year one, Star Trek Year One.
Year One, thank you.
Yeah.
Or should we do Legacy? What do you say?
Legacy.
Take your time and think about it.
Because one, it's the one the fans want. But more than that, I love Strange New Worlds. I love the 23rd century. But if I'm going to be honest, I'm done with prequels. I would like to stop prequels. I would like to stop going backwards and digging into areas of Star Trek that are already well trodden, well established, and just and like prequels just keep trying to find new corners of it. But it's
New
like
nooks, yeah.
let's move forward. The 25th century to me that's the final frontier. That's the great unknown. Picard just opened it up, and let's see
Yep.
it. Let's go into it. So legacy for that reason.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't sound very Star Trek 4 of you, John Orkiola.
But maybe Star Trek Forward.
Ooh, that's a good title. Pitch that to Paramount.
Yeah. All right. Well, John, I know you got to run. It's
I
like
do.
early in
I
the
have
morning.
to
I don't know
work.
why you were up at like 3 a.m. your time, but whatever. Cool. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. He writes for screenrant.com. You can find him at Back of the Head. Thank you very much, John Orkiola, the Vulcan.
Thanks, guys. All right, let's hang out again soon.
Yay,
I'm just reading this shirt.
Oh, the Vulcan. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys.
All
Thanks a
right.
lot. Let's hang out soon. Good to see you guys.
Thanks, pal. Definitely.
Aw.
All right. So up next, that was fun. Here's another one from trekmovie.com is the website. Wow, there's a lot of pictures in there. Check this out. Brandon Braga says Star Trek TV should return to longer seasons instead of short Tinder relationships.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
Yeah, when John was talking about Strange New Worlds, I was just thinking, about Ortegas, how it took long enough to get her single solo episode. I was thinking like not even everybody's had a solo episode. And in a series that's going to total 46 total episodes with a core cast of 9 people and a recurring cast of like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more. We're talking about a cast of easily 15. Like when they introduce new recurring characters, I'm almost like, damn, but now
Why?
I'm not going to
Yeah.
see any more
Yeah.
La'an. I'm not going to see any more number one. Like we're going to
Yeah.
see Pike. We're going to see Spock. We're going to see Uhura. But, are we going to see a lot of Mbenga like we did in the first season? Maybe not. So anyway, that's my concern is like this series is going to end and we're going to have a lot of characters that we really liked but didn't get to see enough of. And that's going to make me sad.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, Brandon Braga says that this is the problem with new television as a whole.
Thank
that-
you.
Is that there's not enough time to dive into character development. Everything is surface level, and everything is we don't know enough about these people. We were excited about Strange New Worlds because we're going to learn more about Una. We're going to learn more about Uhura. We're going to learn more about all of the characters that weren't serviced in TOS as much as the main characters. But it seems like they're falling back into that trend of focusing on Spock and Kirk again.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because it's talking about the trend of television today. Rachel and I are watching a new show, well, not a new show, but new to us show on Apple TV Plus, and we're 6 episodes into this first season, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a slow burn. It's like we'll get done with an episode. I'm like, did anything even actually happen in that episode? So, but then conversely to that, we have Strange New Worlds where they have to pack so much into an episode because we don't get more time with these characters per season. Like, can you imagine Deep Space Nine on 10 episodes a season?
We wouldn't
Like,
get Jake and Nog, that's for sure.
yeah.
They'd be
Yeah.
in 1 or 2 episodes per season. They would basically the writers wouldn't have time to flesh out their characters. And then we wouldn't get these incredible character arcs for both of them.
Right.
We'd get very little Garrick. We'd get
Right.
1 episode of Wayun, and that's that. Sorry, he's
Right.
dead. We made a mistake. We should have kept him. We don't have time. We'd get Damar and Wei-Yun would be, and the female changeling would be faceless villains, because they
Yeah.
wouldn't really have time to flesh them out. Ducat would be, he'd get a few episodes. But yeah,
Yeah.
what can you do with that?
Yeah,
And
Damar
that,
would have
yeah,
still been that guy
exactly.
on the
I
on
mean,
Ducat's ship.
Right. The lieutenant, Cardassian lieutenant or whatever he's called, Leggett.
yeah. Everything is so rushed and glossed over and quick, and we need to cram this in. And and it doesn't leave time to to care for these characters or become invested in these characters. You know, Brandon Braga was talking about how Voyager, a lot of people go back to watch Voyager episodes because it's like coming home. It's a warm
Hmm.
blanket. You've invested your time in these people and spending your lives with these people. You care about them. It's difficult to care about characters in just 10 episodes of a season. Nog had 47 episodes over 7 years. That's more episodes than Strange New Worlds total.
Okay,
It's
so
nuts.
if Brandon Braga calls current Star Trek seasons Tinder relationships, live chat, we need you right now. Let us know, what dating app would you like Star Trek series to be? Uh, Not Tinder. Or maybe you do,
Match.com,
maybe
right?
you disagree with Brandon Braga. Maybe you think Tinder, you want your Star Trek to be like Tinder. You want it to be short treks or very short treks or Star Trek Scouts. Because those are like 3 minutes. But yeah, let us know. Match.com, says Melissa.
Because isn't that the one that or what is that other one where you're supposed to use it once and then
Grinder.
throw it away? No, the app, not the person.
There's one called
Oh, snap.
Coffee versus Bagel,
I
something
don't
like
know.
that. Something that makes no sense like that. That live chat will tell us. What's the coffee versus bagel one? Or donut versus coffee versus bagel? Joel says Star Trek only fans. But then don't you have to pay for the I
Yeah.
guess we're already on B says Hinge. Joel
Only
says
for Rangies.
Grinder. Grinder is Hollow Sweets only. Oh, Mark Zetkov says coffee and croissant. That's very good. That's like Beverly
Ooh,
Crusher in Attached.
now I want a
Um,
croissant.
Croissant. Coffee and croissant. Coffee and
Chocolate
croissant.
croissant,
Look
please.
forward to that in Chicago, maybe, everybody.
Oh.
Ooh,
Badger says plenty of nuts. Isn't that like Planters Peanuts thing?
Oh, plenty of
Uh,
fish.
plenty of fish.
Yeah, I heard of that one.
plenty of episodes. Yes, that's the one. That's the one we want.
That's what we
Plenty of fish. Star Trek, plenty of episodes. Great. All right. I think that's a winner for me.
But they don't even have to go back to the 26 episodes season. They could do 16, do like
Yeah,
a
16 or
split
20.
of, yeah, split the difference of
That would
it.
be 18. We'll take 18.
Sure,
You give
18.
us
Yeah.
6 seasons or 7 seasons of 18. That's like
Right.
110, 130 episodes, something like that. Good enough. We'll
Yeah.
take it.
And
Because
then
otherwise,
these,
46. Tisk
yeah.
tisk.
Well, and he also brings up the fact that there are always there lately in present time, these long ass breaks between seasons
Yeah.
where it's so hard to stay, again, connected to these people and invest your time into these people and their lives and their stories.
I talking to Doug, he used to say we knew this was our schedule from this time to this time. We had 3 months off, and then we came back and we knew we were coming back to do more stuff. And the thing about that is that you start to develop an efficiency when you have the same people who are
Right.
doing the same things, and so you
Hmm.
can be efficient and crank that many episodes out. When you go that long period
Absolutely.
of time, you're going to lose people, either in front of the camera or behind the camera who
Right.
make things work. And so it's tough on everybody because it's like, we all have to eat, we all have to pay bills. We
Exactly.
can't go 2 years in between seasons.
Right. Right. Well, and you talking about how people get into their routines, they get their schedules done. Working on I worked on Law and Order SVU in New York, and let me tell you, what, they're on season 500, but
Wow, that's a
and
pretty successful show.
but they have, they have to still have 26 episodes a season. But working on that show, it was like they were
Yep.
never rude to people. They got things done. They were still able to have fun and play around, but they spent time investing in the characters as well. And there's no reason Star Trek can't do that same kind of thing, because it's about more about the story than it is the blockbuster explosions or visual stuff. Yeah, it's great visuals, but come on,
Yeah.
where's the
Well, we
substance?
we got fancy because of HBO, I would say. Because HBO had Game of Thrones, they had, what was it? Not True Crime, but True Detective. They had all those shows that were like very cinematic, and they were doing shorter seasons, and they were winning Emmys, and they were drawing people in, and I think that's
Hmm,
not understanding your audience. You think, well, surely we have
right.
to make every episode a cinematic experience, and it's like, I don't know. There's got to be a fine balance between making a show look good and then without having to sacrifice the number of episodes that you have to develop your characters.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about the HBO thing, but I, I mean, we've said this so many times, but like, we don't need Star Trek to have every episode be this big, gigantic, beautiful cinematic experience. If
Right.
it's at, if it's to the detriment of the possibility of having more episodes, or if there's a finite budget, let's say it's $100 million, we'd rather you spend $5 million for 20 episodes
Hmm.
each, episode, than $10 million on 10 episodes. And
Hmm.
we understand that the quality may not be there. We understand that they're being competitive with quality, and the episodes and the shows look unbelievable. They're gorgeous, from the wardrobe to the production design to the visual effects to the sound, the scoring, everything. It's unbelievable. But like, hey, give us more Star Trek. And of course, Star Trek fans like myself and everybody else are never happy. So I get it. I get it that they're like,
Yeah.
dude, what do you guys want? You're always complaining. But tell you what we want is
No.
more episodes.
More episodes, and episodes that invoke the emotions that when you mention an episode like The Visitor, what that brings up. If you mention an episode like The Inner Light, what feeling does that bring up? What feeling does The Magnificent Ferengi bring up? These
Yeah.
all have very specific personalities in these episodes, the very specific way of story telling these stories. And these weren't, trudge along plotting. These were forward-thinking episodes, but we didn't need all of the blockbuster theatrics to tell these amazing stories that we still hold dear.
Yeah. This is from Facebook.com. What's this? Creation Entertainment shares a look at a performance from this year's STLV Trek Does Broadway Duets. See a clip of Doug Jones and Gabrielle Ruiz performing tonight. I celebrate my love for you.
Tonight I celebrate my love for you. It feels the natural thing to do.
Tonight we will discover how things turn into lovers
When I make love
to you.
Tonight I celebrate my love for you.
That's amazing.
I love that.
Doug's always going to bring the humor for us. Gotta love that guy. So you can check that out. Facebook.com. Go follow Creation Entertainment, and you can find the link where the entire performance, practically almost the entire performance of Broadway duets, Celia Rose Gooding, Anthony Rapp, Wilson Cruz, Gabriel Ruiz, Doug Jones, of course, Robert Picardo, Eugene Cordero, Tawny Newsome, and so much more. Go check that out right now. Or you could just go on youtube.com, check out Creation Entertainment, the YouTube
Yay!
channel for Creation Entertainment, and watch that full performance if you missed it.
Amazing.
It's pretty fun.
Badger says Doug is so shy.
He goes for it.
He
Hey, why do
does.
we have Starfleet Academy behind us? I didn't see any Starfleet Academy news.
It was in the first article.
Oh, is that right? What was the first article?
It was New York
October
Comic-Con.
11th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Because that's what's going to be, that it's probably going to be the entirety. Maybe one other thing might be announced, but it probably New York Comic Con is going to be all Starfleet Academy, right? Okay, what about this? From DaytonWard.wordpress.com, everybody's favorite website, and if it isn't, it should be. Check this out. The Fog of Ward. Happy 25th anniversary, Star Trek Voyager Elite Force. I'm not much of a gamer, he says. I mean, I've played and occasionally still do play the odd computer or board game, but I'm not a gamer with a capital G. At best, I'm a casual hobbyist, despite generally enjoying myself whenever I venture forth into this realm. If I'm being honest, my heyday for gaming likely peaked in the 1980s and early 90s, with the proliferation of video game articles, before plateauing during the years with the first games I bought for what I now laughingly call my first home computers or game systems. Look at this.
I love
What is
the
that?
fake football crash through the plexi there.
Oh, yeah. It looks like the Buccaneers. This says Star Trek Strategic Operations Simulator. Why is there a football crash? Well, I guess he probably just put that on himself. So what's going on with it? Wow, we're talking Commodore 64 and the Atari 2600, 5200 kids. What's going on with this? And how did you guys find this?
Matt found it.
Well, I followed Dayton and he brought it up and I completely forgot that. Yeah, I mean, 25 years ago, this game came out and I remember playing it and really,
Really?
yeah, and really enjoying it. They did a second one. I don't remember that one as well as this first one, but it was really neat because it was like playing an episode of Voyager. So, I mean, they even had the whole intro. I don't think they could get the rights for the theme song, so they wrote a separate intro for it and everything. But you've got cast members who came in and voiced their characters in the game. You get to hang out with Tuvok. It follows what they call the Hazard Team, which is kind of they're an elite force on on Voyager, and yeah, there's a whole story behind it. It was kind of a risk for them. It was a first person shooter game. I don't think had ever done anything like that before. And to celebrate its 25th anniversary, I believe Star Trek Online is going to make the Hazard Team uniforms available for your character.
Cool.
Wow. That's
That's
something.
awesome.
So, okay. I was looking at that picture too. It's like really fun, like one of those flight simulator kind of games where, like, if you look at the, I can't pull up the picture because I just closed it out, but like Dayton looks like he's concentrating hard. Like he's got his kid in front of him, but make no mistake, he's taking it seriously because that's how video games were back then. I mean, nowadays we're spoiled with a million streaming channels, a million game.
Yeah.
You could get every single Nintendo and Sega and whatever game ever created on like a gaming system this big. Like, you know what I mean? Like you could get a
Right.
1,000 games for 8 clams or something. Whereas back then, you get yourself Dig Dug or Star Trek, whatever. That's it. Like that's your Saturday night. Well, if you're Matt.
Maybe.
So anyway, that's really cool though. I never had a Star Trek game. You know the game that I got addicted to way back in the day? Besides sports, it was sports games. First of all,
Oh yeah.
I play an entire football season, an entire basketball season. Keep me away from those, or my life will disappear before me. Uh, but the one other game that I would get addicted to was Master of Orion. Like sci-fi nerds will know Master of Orion.
Oh, I haven't played that one.
I've heard of it.
Master of Orion 1 was great. Master of Orion 2 was incredible. Master of Orion 3, I still don't understand what that shit was about. Like I was so excited to get it, and I was like, I don't understand it. What are we supposed to do? How do I win? Why is this so boring? What is this game? How did you guys screw this up so badly? The graphics are way better than the first two, but the game is not even a game. Like, what are we doing here? Anyway, live chat, you've played Master of Orion. I know you know it. Oh, Morrow even says 1, 2, or 3. See, Morrow gets it. One was great for its time. 2 was incredible for its time. 3 was like, it was like the Godfather movies, right? They're like 10, 10, 1. Something like that. Anyway, but let us know in the live chat if you played Master of Orion 3. Like, did you understand it? It was great. It was about like aliens and conquering the universe. It was pretty fun. Anyway. Sorry, Melissa. Melissa's like, oh God, this is so boring. This is from a website called Facebook.com. TrekCore posts in Nickelodeon's You to You, don't know what that means. Show visits the set of Star Trek Voyager in January 1996. It was just a few months after it premiered, and chats with the cast during filming on Deadlock.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, well, let's check this out. Let's click the link.
If you go to around a minute 14, that's where they get into the Star Trek stuff. The rest is like, housekeeping. Go visit our show. Here, we have
Hot
our show
95
here.
are not 96. We've got an all-new top 10 to you. Friends, this is Shayna and this is Bryce.
Hey there, Bryce. How you doing?
Good. So we've got a question for you from one of the kids.
Oh, they're playing the presidents of the United States of America.
Are you and Kes going out in real life?
Gosh, no. I mean, she's... I don't want to start any rumors, but we have been known to know I'm a married wife. I'm a man. She's a girl.
So, Ethan, can you tell us, since you're in the whole future world here, what you think is going to be
dressed like Ice Cube on the right
in the future?
Well, I think in the 24th century, what is going to be totally critical is the Neelix look. It's going to be awesome, extreme, and radical.
Hey, Dave, I think that's a good look for you.
Yeah, right.
Well,
engage.
What is a Vulcan?
Well, as you know, I play a Vulcan. That means I come from the planet Vulcan in the Alpha Quadrant, right? I mean, you can always tell a Vulcan by their pointy ears.
Hook you up with the ultimate challenge on America Online.
You got
I'm
mail.
so jealous.
Last
that
month,
he's sitting in that
Landell
chair.
won our
No.
online
Wow.
word game challenge. Chevy, and my favorite, good. You ready to go to the ready room?
Ready.
Ready.
Oh,
What
a pretty face.
Well, we're having such a good time here. We just got on the Voyager, and so what happened to you today?
I'd love to tell you I fell down off a great big ladder, but it's part of the job.
Part of the job, tough day in space?
Well, I'm doing 2 Captain Janeways in this episode.
Wow.
It's disconcerting. 2 Voyagers share the same space-time continuum. Do you understand that, Shayna?
For life in the 24th century?
I believe clothes will be edible.
You're the doctor on the show, right? The holographic doctor.
That's right, David. Nice to be on you to you on the road.
Actually, it's you to you out in space. So, the doctor on the show, do you have a name yet?
Oh, the question I get all the time. No, I don't have a name. I've suggested Dr. Pepper, Dr. Scholl, Dr. Love, Dr. Feelgood, and Dr. Seuss. And
I don't recommend that you go to the prom looking like this.
So what's next for you guys?
Well, I think we're going to New York City. That's where we found our kids for the round robin rap.
Anyway, everybody, you can check that out. Easiest way to find it is to just go to Trek Core on social media, click on the link from there, and follow this extremely grainy. Speaking of Atari, that thing looked like it was on an Atari. It's like 8-bit, but it's still totally worth it and totally cool. Great find. Great find. All right, let's talk about the week ahead. But did anybody mention Master of Orion? Me and Morrow can't be the only 2 people that played Master of Orion.
Yeah.
Oh, it was incredible. It was, man.
I was playing Duck Hunt.
Oh, the second one was the Battle at Antares. That's what it was.
And Super Mario Brothers.
Same.
So check it out. Basically, I mean, it was a fun game. Basically, you've got the galactic map, right? And, you start off on your home planet and you allocate, your resources. So it's kind of like, and you're building up crops and you're mining and you're doing stuff and you're fighting other
they have
aliens.
those kind of games still.
And then they would talk to you, like on the holographic things, they'd say, "You are entering my space. We shall kill you now." And these were all the different races. You could play any race, and they all have like special abilities and things like that. But anyway, it's just really fun. Sorry, Melissa.
Oh, no, sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
That's okay. That's just, that's life. So anyway, thank you very much, Tomorrow, who says, "Sorry you evoked the magic word. Also, in case you don't know, Commodore is now reborn. Commodore 64 is back. Lots of nostalgia. Great stuff. Thanks very much for the super chat, Maro Bata." Yeah, Commodore. Why am I blanking on his name? Who's the Commodore, Matt? In the Doomsday device?
Oh, dang it. Decker.
Decker, thank you. And we know LaForge also became a Commodore. All right. So yesterday on the 7th Rule YouTube channel, we released our full review of Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 6, Episode 6, True Q with Olivia Dabo. Remember Olivia Dabo? True Q.
Dabo.
So check that out. The full episode is now available on the 7th Rule YouTube channel. Then this coming Friday, come right back to the Virtual TrekCon YouTube channel at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time for Star Trek and Chill. We've got a very special guest joining us at Star Trek and Chill this Friday. It's David Mack.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
David Mack, the writer of Star Trek Con, will be joining us to talk about Star Trek Con, I guess.
Woo-hoo!
Right? So that'll be a good time. We'll have him. That's this Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, live right here on the Virtual TrekCon YouTube channel. Then on Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern Time on the 7th Rule YouTube channel, we will have our first segment review of Chain of Command Part 2. Chain of Command Part 2, because of course, last Sunday we did Chain of Command Part 1. What a coincidence. Now we're doing Part 2. All right. I think that's about it for us. The Matt, where can people find you and your goodies or whatever you
Well, you
happen to
can
be
always
doing?
you can find me here on Tuesdays on the main viewer. You can also find me out in the groups occasionally. Check out my YouTube channel that still has 5 videos.
Nice.
Slowly.
Pretty good.
There are glaciers that move faster at putting up things than I do. And then maybe check out my ArtStation page for some cool Star Trek art.
What about yourself, Melissa P. Longo?
You can find me at walkingart madebymelissa.com where you can find my wares. Oh, I'm working on some stuff right now, painting away. This is stage 1 of something that I'm working on. But yeah, and then virtual Trek cons, the main viewer, and Star Trek and Chill, and the 7th Rule, and oh, 3 Fat Lobsters. Yes, here on YouTube. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
That's amazing.
The song.
Oh, and check out, sign up for my Zumba classes. Come on, people, let's dance.
Yep. From Zoom to Zumba, everybody.
Zoom.
Also, the Matt is oftentimes on the main viewer, and I think you're going to be joining us this Friday for the discussion with David Mack, right?
Yes, I am.
That'll be
So
fun.
looking forward to it.
So's he. He said I'll only do it if the Matt Boardman's
that guy
joining in. And everybody, you can find me online at Ryan TG Husk. Once again, that's at Ryan TG Husk, or streaming sports online. I don't know if you can find me doing that. Or just virtual TrekCon, Falling Tower, or the 7th Rule on your favorite social media, but especially right here on YouTube, of course. That's really the key. Thank you very much to Joshua, Morrow, Robert, War Dog, Linda, Joel, Lucia. Boy, Lucia. What is she yelling at me? It says wrestling, Ryan. I didn't even mention wrestling in the last hour of the show. Why is she yelling at me again? Maybe because I mentioned sports.
Technically, Ryan.
What did I say that was wrestling?
I don't know.
It was when we were talking about video games. I may have played a wrestling video game or two. She's probably right there if that's her guess. Also, thank you to Badger, Dave Gregory, on B, of course, David Bourgeois, Zanzis Primo, Chris Marshall, Terry Rose, May Borello out in the May area, Herbert Turner, of course, Rookie of the Year, Redshirt Bob. Thank you all very much for partying with us. It's been a great time. Thanks. What about Bob YT, Greg Kenzo, and thanks to John Orchiola for partying with us. He's at Back of the Head. We will see you next time. And hey, when you want to talk about wrestling, go elsewhere. We don't talk about wrestling here. When you want to talk about Star Trek and lots of cool sci-fi stuff, put it on the main viewer.